So, you know the old saying, war is hell? Well, it definitely showed up as hell at the end of this episode. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strunk from QuickTime Reactions, and I've done it. I've gotten through all 3 episodes. We are going to be talking about Andor, Season 2, Episode 6, which is entitled, of course, I'm looking up the title. Yes, I am keeping this in the video. Episode is entitled, What a Festive Evening. And in this episode, we see Cassian make his return to Coruscant to reunite with Bix. Cyril makes his way back to Gorman to be a spy for an attempted raid on a weapons vehicle that is going to be made. And of course, Partagaz and Dedra oversee this. And Luthen and Clea make a move to try and remove the bug that is in Davos Skolden's collection room before they are caught. So this is probably the most action-heavy episode out of the 3 of them because there are a lot of moving parts, and I love towards the tail end we are intercutting between the fight that's going on Gorman, and then Clea trying to remove the bug from the relic that is in the collection. I love that. But first, I'm going to talk about the Cassian and Bix arc in this episode. Cassian does make his way back to Coruscant. He gets picked up by Luthen, and Cassian basically says, "Gorman, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole." I'm paraphrasing, but he's basically saying, "I wouldn't touch it." And Luthen's like, "You're seriously leaving a piece on the board and you're not going to play it? What are you doing?" And Cassian says, "I'm thinking like a soldier, not as, a revolutionary willing to sacrifice people. I'm trying to be strategic about this." And when Cassian does make it home, I just love the fact that every single time that Cassian gets home to Bix, they talk about all the different characters that he plays, and when Cassian is describing the character that he played on Gorman, Bix was like, "Oh, you should bring that guy home from time to time sometimes." And I just love that. But Bix does let Cassian know that Luthen was by to just check in on Bix and see if she's still holding up very well. And Cassian is pissed. He goes to Luthen's shop and basically says, "Look, don't bring her into this." And Luthen's like, "Why can't I? You don't want to go into Gorman, but yet you're willing to protect her at all cost? It seems like your priorities are out of order." And basically just tells him to realign them. And when Cassian does get home, he, goes to comfort Bix, and Bix is like, "I want to do something, but I want in on this." And it's like, "I don't need any protecting. You just need to be with me on this." And we don't catch up with it until the very end of the episode, but Gorst is making his way to his new office because Partagaz informed Hertz and Lonnie that Gorst is torture experiment protocol and stuff is getting expanded. So they're in a new building. They're going to be in a new building that the Navy's donated. But Gorst is making his way to his office, and he steps in. Who does he see? Bix. She straps him to the chair, puts those headphones on, turns on the recording, and leaves the room. And Cassian also wired charges on the building and blew up the building. And that, I think, is going to be what fully puts Bix fully into this now. There's no going back for her. The second one that I want to talk about was Luthen and Clea trying to remove the bug. I just love the fact, again, so awesome how they are able to shift between normal talk and rebel talk in this episode. It's so smooth, so slick. Because early on in the episode, Luthen says, "Yeah, that piece in Gorman, it didn't work out," and Clea says, "I kind of figured," and Luthen's like, "You already had another piece in mind." And I was like, "Yeah," and Vel is sent to Gorman to try and continue on with the revolution that is happening in Gorman. But Luthen and Clea, they're focused more on getting that bug out of Skollen's collection. And what do you know? Lonnie just happens to be, not only good friends with Luthen, but also he happens to know Clea. And so they're at this disc that, you move your fingers around it and, you can feel another language, or you can, it's basically Braille in a sense. But the key to get the bug out, it gets jammed. And so, the tension is created. It's getting close. The party's getting closer and closer and closer, which also includes Krennic there as well. He's also there at the party as well. But they are able to get the bug out just in the nick of time and cover themselves, and they exit the party stage right, and they're able to make it out a-okay. But the mission on Gorman does not prove any better. Yes, they are able to disable the vehicles that are transporting the weapons, that are able to offload them, but Serial is seeing all of this go down and report it to Pargaz and Dedra. And Bill also said, "Me and Cinta are the only ones that are going to carry blasters, nobody else." But when somebody on the street approaches one of the guys, he's like, "Just turn back around. This doesn't involve you." Guy shoves him out of the way. Dude pulls a blaster. They get into a bit of a scuffle. Shot is fired off. Don't know where it's hit. And Vel approaches, and Cinta is tagged. And that absolutely sucks. I loved Cinta, even though she probably killed Tay, off screen. But the relationship between her and Vel was so good. They even shared a kiss in the episode, which I think is the first LGBTQ kiss that has happened in Star Wars. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that's pretty cool. And to see her go in such a really bad way, it's just, it hurt my heart. And when they're in the transport, Vel looks at the dude who's, trying to hide the fact that he's crying and that he's the one that did it. She's like, "Are you seriously gonna cry?" And he's like, look at me in the eyes. You're gonna carry this for the rest of your life. You're in a forever debt to her. And no matter how much you're gonna do, that is going to be on your conscience for the rest of your life. And you're gonna have to deal with that. And I loved that monologue from Vel. It's like, yeah, you messed up, and you're gonna have to live with your mistake forever. Just deal with it. And that's kind of like the christening of welcome to the rebels. This is just stuff you got to deal with. So yeah, I absolutely loved this arc, which I'm going to call the Gorman arc. Absolutely loved it. I'm assuming, though, that tensions are going to only increase in Gorman because the next set of 3 episodes, we're going to jump ahead another year. We're going to get to 2 BBY. So that'll be very interesting to see what kind of changes happen. in the next 3 episodes. But yeah, really enjoyed these batch 3 episodes. Really, really enjoyed it. The same director that did episodes 1 through 3, Ariel Kleiman, I believe is her name, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm looking it up. Yes, Ariel Kleiman, and Bo Williman was the one that wrote all 3 of these scripts as well. I think they did a really good job, not only in shooting, but also in the writing process as well. They did an amazing job with all 3 of these episodes. Really, really good stuff. But yeah, that is it for all of the Andor today. Thank you guys so much for kind of following along with this journey. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens when we take another year time jump in the next batch of episodes. But until then, guys, be safe. Be sure to always watch out for bugs in your house, because you never know who's going to be listening, whether it's the Empire or the Rebel Alliance. And I will catch you guys later.